Does pragmatism hold the key to interpreting constitutions in an ever-evolving society? When we examine the complexities of constitutional interpretation, the consideration of pragmatism brings a unique perspective, one that is firmly rooted in the realities of the time. Consider this case study, the landmark Supreme Court decision of Brown v. Board of Education in 1954. This was a seminal case in the United States where the court declared state laws establishing separate public schools for black and white students to be unconstitutional, overturning the Plessy v. Ferguson decision of 1896 that allowed state-sponsored segregation. In this case, the justices didn't simply rely on a strict interpretation of the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause. Instead, they considered the social and psychological impacts of segregation on black children, acknowledging the broader societal implications. This was a pragmatic approach, one that acknowledged the reality of the times and the consequences of the interpretation. The importance of pragmatism in constitutional interpretation should not be underestimated. It moves beyond the words on the page to consider the real-world impact of interpretation. It is not about bending the Constitution to suit the times, but about understanding that the Constitution is a living document meant to serve the people in the context of their times. In the case of Brown v. Board of Education, the Supreme Court looked beyond the literal text of the 14th Amendment. They considered the societal implications of segregation, the psychological harm it inflicted on black children, and the perpetuation of inequality. Their interpretation was not just about the words of the Constitution, but about the spirit of the Constitution, equality and justice for all. This approach requires a delicate balance. It's about acknowledging the intent of the Constitution's framers while also recognizing that society evolves. What was applicable 2 centuries ago may not hold the same relevance today, and it's through the lens of pragmatism that we can bring the Constitution alive in our current context. In conclusion, the role of pragmatism in constitutional interpretation is pivotal. It brings a consequentialist approach, focusing on the real-world effects of a decision. It offers flexibility, allowing for decisions based on what works best in real-world circumstances. And most importantly, it ensures that the Constitution remains a living document, evolving with the society it governs to reflect the practical realities of the time. So as we look to the future of constitutional interpretation, let us remember the importance of pragmatism. It's not just about what the Constitution says, but also about what it means in the context of our times. It's about ensuring that our Constitution continues to serve its purpose, to promote justice, ensure domestic tranquility, and secure the blessings of liberty for all. That, indeed, is the true spirit of constitutional interpretation.